Katie Hunter, Kings TV. Luke, you guys played this team to open up the season. But they're a different team now, and so are you guys. Kind of what do you see as the two differences from both squads? Where have you guys improved, and where have you seen improvement in watching their game film?
Yeah, well, we've come a long way as a group. I think our mental toughness is much better. Watching the first game, we were actually playing a pretty good game. Had a nice lead in the end of the second, and then third quarter was back and forth, and they got hot, and it's like a boxing match where you get hit and you just quit. Ended up with 27 turnovers for 35 points, and they got out and ran transition on us and rebounds and everything else. So we've gotten much tougher as a team. I think we know more of who we are as a group now, and it hurts not having De'Aaron and not having Marvin and guys like that. But as a group, we're doing a much better job, and they've been pretty dang solid. I mean, I'm watching these games. I feel like Baines is a knockdown 3-point shooter now. I mean, it's incredible what he's done consistently this year so far, and he plays that. He's physical and he's big, and now he's shooting 40+ from three. Saric has really found his range from out there. I think last game showed, how much Rubio means to that team as far as just leadership and getting guys into the right spots. But yeah, they're a good team, and we gotta be ready to come out with the same energy we've been playing with that same toughness, and not have any slippage, because it's natural after you win an emotional game to let that guard down a little bit, and we got to make sure that doesn't happen.
Luke, Sean Cunningham, ABC 10. With your start that you guys had, Bogey obviously didn't play well in that span of time. He's obviously playing at a much higher level now. How much does that correlate to the success you have when he's on? And is he one of those guys that when he's not on, it makes it that much harder to get things right?
He's a big part of our team. But, it's like you say that for everyone. It's, when Bogey's playing well, our team plays well. When Buddy plays well, we play well. When Fox is having a big game, you know what I mean? So what's important is I think we're starting to realize and get to where we play a certain way no matter what. And then, hopefully we get a big night from like we had from Buddy against Boston, or Bogey getting hot, down the stretch. But we're playing the same way no matter what. And then as we have these talented players and we can get them going, giving ourselves a much better chance of winning.
Luke, James Ham, NBC Sports. When you look at the start that you had to the season and then your last 7 games where you've really turned the corner, are you surprised that you've been able to turn the corner that fast? And are you getting to know sort of the personality of your team right now?
Yeah, little. I'm one, surprised we started 0-5, and 2, surprised that we've got that it's gone that quickly the other direction. But we have to be very careful to not think that, okay, now we've won 5 out of our last 7. We figured it out. We're good. Like, we've won 5 out of our last 7 because we started playing much harder. We started defending. We started making rotations. We started taking care of the ball much better. All those little things have added up to why we've played and been able to win games recently. So, for us, yes, I'm surprised, but we can't be satisfied or happy at all with it. It's gotta continue to be about every time we come on the court, we're trying to get better. We're still doing those little things day in and day out, and trying to expand what we do as a team.
Luke, Kevin Ray, Suns TV. What, beyond what you just mentioned, what has been the difference defensively with the improvement over the last several games?
For our group,
for
us, defense always starts with effort. To me, I think a big part of it is just how I think our guys were. They take pride in what we do, and we got off to a bad start, and it was bothering us as a group. And what I kept saying and what we were seeing every day in practice was, look, it's not adding up because our guys are working their tails off. Like, they want it. It just wasn't carrying over to the court consistently enough yet. So I think part of it was, understanding, what our coverages are, our terminology, getting more comfortable with that, getting to know each other, strengths and weaknesses, us still getting to know our players' strengths and weaknesses, what's best for certain players isn't good for others. So all those things of just kind of getting to know the team and building the team, I think, kind of come into play with that.
Coach Scott Marsh, Sports 1140. Just want your take on the Suns, how surprised you've been, how impressed you've been with them, especially without DeAndre Ayton, except, of course, in Game 1 against you guys, and how that affects tonight without him there.
They're an impressive team. They play extremely hard every night. They got shooting. They got veteran leadership. I think you got to give a lot of credit to Booker. He's really, I think, he's really cleaned up a lot of what he's doing. Like, he's making the right play. Teams are, and granted, he's got some better teammates around now, but you blitz him, he's making the right plays. So whether that's a lot. Different influences, Rue playing with a point guard like Rubio and knowing he's going to, I don't know. I'm not over in their camp, but they've been very impressive so far.
Coach Walton, Tony Harvey, Sacramento Observer. Nemanja mentioned the other night after the game that, it's not just, your coaching ability. It's been pretty much the whole coaching staff. So, you're not the only man behind the curtains. Is the people behind the curtains with you, men and women. Could you talk a little bit about how they've been able to keep this cohesiveness, from the transition from the beginning of the season to now on your 5-2?
Yeah, I have a really talented coaching staff. I think they do a great job. When I took the job here, one of the things Vivek said was go out and try to hire people that are smarter than you, that are better than you, the best at what they do. And that's what I try to do. And I'm very pleased with the guys we have. Part of my philosophy on coaching and building a team is I don't want it just to be my voice. I want the players to hear Bob's voice throughout, practice, Jesse's voice, Igor's voice. We give the film guys a voice so that when it's time for them to run a drill, or if it's their scout, the players know, like, these everyone's got power here. We're all in this together, and I think the players embrace that, and I think our coaches have done a really nice job with that responsibility.
Luke, Jason Anderson with Sacramento Bee. If you don't mind looking ahead just a little bit here with, I know, sorry. But Marvin, clearly his workouts are getting ramped up a little bit, and it looks like he's getting closer to coming back. So if you can comment just on how close you think he might be, and then what that looks like when he does return. You've got some other guys and combinations that are playing really well. Do you have to kind of think that through, who he plays, who you pair him with, how much, whether he starts?
Yeah, I mean, those are all, come into play. He's got an exam tomorrow to, 4 weeks, see where he's at, and he'll travel with us, and we'll see what that looks like. And once he's cleared, then we got to get him on the practice court. I've played with players like Kobe who can miss 4 weeks, and they come back and they're ready to go at a high level. And then I've been a player myself where if I missed 4 weeks, I needed another 4 weeks just to be able to run with the guys out there. So it's different for everybody, and we're gonna get them back into practice and see how things are going, try groupings and all of the things you mentioned. But there's no answer to any of that right now.